Today we're going to try to recreate Auntie Anne's pretzels and make them keto. And by the way, this video is sponsored by Thrive Market, but more about them later. If you grew up in the 80s or the 90s like we did, you probably spent most of your time at the mall. And if you were overweight like we were in high school, you spent most of your time in three places: Claire's, Express or the Limited, the accessories department, or the food court, which is where we spent most of our time. And the moment that we entered the mall, we beelined it towards Auntie Anne's pretzels and Gloria Jean's coffee. So Sarah's behind the camera right now. That's where she lives. And she's telling me I need to explain the accessories thing. And I think that you guys can probably relate to this. I think you guys know what I'm talking about when I say that we had to shop in the accessories section because we didn't fit into anything else at the mall. Like, the mall was not a fun place for us to go to buy a bunch of stuff because we couldn't fit into anything. So we basically just hung out in places where we could buy jewelry or purses or shoes or stuff like that. So I looked through a bunch of different recipes, and remember that we test recipes here on our channel. This is not our recipe, but I came across one that looks really interesting. It's by myketokitchen.com. We're gonna leave it linked in the description below. It's for soft and chewy keto pretzels that have about 2 net carbs per pretzel. So the interesting thing about this recipe and what caught my eye about it is that it's kind of like a mixture of a fathead dough, but it also has yeast in it. Fathead dough is a dough that's primarily made of cheese, and the cheese gives it like most of the body of the dough itself. And I've never seen yeast in a recipe with fathead dough in it. So I wonder if this is going to create a very chewy, airy texture, because fathead dough can seem very heavy because it's primarily made of cheese. And if you're new to keto, you might not even know what I'm talking about. Fathead dough is a pretty popular dough in the ketogenic lifestyle because it's very high in fat and very low in carbs. And because it's made of cheese, it may seem off-putting, but it's very neutral tasting. It's not overly savory. And so Sarah and I have used it in a variety of different dishes in the past. We've made pizza out of it. We've made apple pie out of it, keto-friendly apple pie. And so it's very versatile. So give it a chance. Don't be off-put by the idea that there's cheese in this dough, because you can use it for sweet or savory applications. So the first step of this recipe is going to be activating our yeast. So we have 2 teaspoons of yeast that we're going to be activating with a teaspoon of honey. The recipe calls for inulin, which is what the yeast is gonna eat in order to activate. But a bag of it was like $12 and we're only using a teaspoon of it. And so I didn't wanna spend $12. So we're just gonna be using honey. And remember that the yeast is going to be eating the honey and the sugars in the honey. And so you're not going to be eating the honey. So it is keto friendly. So yeast is a living thing, right? You're supposed to be using warm water to activate this yeast. If you use hot water, it might kill it. So it has to be kind of tepid on the warm side. So make sure to not kill your yeast before you begin, because we've probably done that before in the past. It's a little hot. I'm just going to cool down the water because I warmed it up in the microwave. So we had like some artisanal honey that we bought a while ago and we couldn't get the jar open, so we're gonna use sugar. Same concept. So 1 teaspoon of sugar. So while the yeast activates, we're gonna be opening our order from Thrive Market, who happens to be the sponsor of this video. Thrive Market is an online, membership-based grocery store on a mission to make healthy living easy and affordable for everyone, with guaranteed savings on every order. We know that so many of you guys do not live near a place that sells a bunch of keto products, but Thrive Market does, and Sarah and I love going online, clicking keto, and seeing everything that they have to offer. We love getting staples like almond flour, coconut flour, and keto-friendly oil, but we also love some of the products at really great prices, like this truffle mayo. I'm telling you guys, this is so good. And I also love buying Lily's products from Thrive Market. The prices are incredible. Thrive Market offers a 1-month membership for $12 a month, or you can buy a 12-month membership for just $5 a month. And once you join, you can check the deals page on their website or the app to see the best deals on your favorite brands. If you look for products with the Thrive Cash badge, you can expect to earn Thrive Cash back on that purchase. It's that simple. Orders over $49 are shipped for free and delivered with carbon neutral shipping from their waste-free warehouses. So if you're ready to join Thrive Market, you can visit our special link, thrivemarket.com/ketotwins, to get 30% off your first order plus a free gift of up to $60. Our yeast is all bubbly and activated and alive, and it smells yeasty. Next up, we're going to start making the dough. We are going to be putting our almond flour and xanthan gum into a large mixing bowl, and we're going to whisk that together until it's fully combined. It's very important that you mix xanthan gum thoroughly in your recipe. If not, it could end up clumpy, so definitely take the time to make sure that it's fully incorporated before you move on to the next step. So we have two different types of pretzels that we're going to be making today, and these are the ones that we always used to order. I'm doing a cinnamon sugar pretzel with a caramel dipping sauce, and Sarah is going to be making the jalapeno pretzel. I always went for the sweet choices with the extra caramelly dipping sauce. I was also the same way about Cinnabon.
Ugh.
And Sarah always went for the savory things.
We should have just done halvesies. I don't know why we didn't do that.
We didn't do halvesies back in the day, probably because we just wanted it all for ourselves. So maybe we'll do halvesies today so we can try each other's pretzels.
Yes.
We have a nonstick saucepan heating up on medium-low heat. We're going to be adding in our mozzarella cheese and our cream cheese, and it's going to be melted all together. You don't want to burn this though, be very careful. You just want it to melt and then stir it to combine it. Now that we have our melted cheese in a pourable condition and completely combined, we are going to be adding that into our almond flour xanthan gum mixture, and then we're going to add in our proofed yeast, and we're going to mix that all till it's well combined.
Maybe don't use a whisk for the next step.
And now we're going to whisk in 2 eggs. Rachel Ray tip. Rachel Ray, she was kind of a mess in the kitchen, but she always taught me to, she didn't teach me, but she said to always poke the yolk before you mix. She kind of reminds me of me in the kitchen. I used to love watching her carry like 50 things from the refrigerator over to her counter and then almost drop it. I like that kind of chaotic energy in a cooking video. We strive to be just like that. Bing, 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 bing. This is gonna be hard to do. I know it.
Don't break my spoon.
It's really sticky, so we do have food safe gloves, and I'm finding that it's a lot easier to work with this dough if you have food safe gloves. So next up, we're going to be splitting this into 4 quarters, and then we're gonna take those quarters and split them into 3. So you should be able to get 12 pretzels out of this. Although every time that Sarah and I make a recipe, we never get the actual serving. We make them too big or too small, so we'll see. Forget everything I just said. Sarah and I have discussed it, and we're going to be making these bigger because we need them to be big, because Auntie Anne's pretzels are big. In fact, I was looking on the internet trying to find like a size equivalent so we could make our pretzels the same size. No one actually has measured them. I think they're free-handed, so some of them might be a little bit bigger than others. Some of the pictures on the internet, these pretzels were huge.
Okay.
All right, we're recalculating because we messed up. So we're gonna be making 8 instead of 12. So they're gonna be slightly bigger. So the important thing about this dough, it is mainly made out of cheese, and the dough has to be warm. And these are decently warm, but we were gonna heat them up for about 10 to 15 seconds to get them super pliable again. I'm gonna take this far ahead. I'm gonna actually have to make it into a pretzel shape. That's not good.
Freeform. Organic.
Pretzel stick?
No, that's cheating.
I mean, how far do I have to go in order to get it?
You'll know. Keep going. Keep more.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
you can't rush greatness, okay? I don't work at Auntie Anne's Pretzels. I've never done this before.
I think we would have to say, like, pretty much the size of this cutting board.
What?
Yeah.
Longer?
Try to do it, the motion. See, that's why it needs to be longer.
What? What does a pretzel look like? I forgot. Look how big his cutting board is. We're gonna be hanging up the size here.
Okay, that's fine. Let's just make them that big.
Okay.
Size of the cutting board. Okay. Twist it. Yay! Cool. Okay. Emily wants to make them bigger.
That's too small. Come on. No way. We have to make them bigger. We need a honkin' big pretzel to get you guys to click. We can't be like, look at these mediocre, meager pretzels. See, look at that, and look at that. Come on. So our pretzels have been proofing for about 5 to 10 minutes on top of the stove where it's nice and warm. We're now going to dress our pretzels before we put them in the oven. I'm going to be doing a savory jalapeno garlic butter pretzel.
reminiscent of one that I used to get. I'm going to be taking a couple tablespoons of butter, putting some garlic powder in there. I'm just going to eyeball it, probably a teaspoon or so. Mix it to combine it. I'm going to be brushing my pretzels with that butter. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to place some very thinly sliced jalapenos, jalapenos if you will, on top, artfully, hopefully.
Don't skimp out on that butter. There you go. This is going to take forever.
Artfully done.
Here's Sarah's. It looks
amazing.
So mine is a simple one, so I'm just going to be brushing it. This is melted unsalted butter, and then at the end I'm going to be sprinkling on our allulose and cinnamon mixture. I smell yours. It smells good.
Thank you.
Do you think we should cook them separate? We're afraid that like the smells, the flavors might seep into mine, and so I'm worried about that. And so we're gonna bake them separately. You're supposed to bake them at 390 degrees for anywhere from 12 to 15 minutes. Yummy. Ooh. Ooh. Let's unveil Sarah's. Oh, wow. Wow, these look really, really good. I'm really surprised that we made them. So, which one do you want to try first, Sarah?
I think obviously savory.
Really?
You end with the
Fine.
sweetness.
Auntie Anne's pretzels, the jalapeno pretzel has about 63 total carbs.
Wow.
2 dietary fiber, but 61 net carbs per pretzel. The recipe that we tried today has 2 net carbs per pretzel. However, we made them bigger. So instead of 12 pretzels, we made 6.
Well, these are like twice the size too.
Right. Our big pretzels have 6 net carbs per pretzel.
Not bad though.
So it's a 10th. We have the smallest container ever of ranch that Sarah...
It's just supposed to taste it. It's not supposed to be a whole meal.
Lots of holes, airy pockets in there.
It smells like garlic, bread.
Mmm.
Oh, I should have tasted without.
Mmm. Really good.
Mm-hmm.
I taste the yeast for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Mmm.
I don't think that people would know that this was made of cheese.
Mm-hmm.
If they were new to keto and they haven't tried fathead dough before, I'm pretty sure that they would not know what they were eating.
Mmm. It really absorbed the butter too.
Mm-hmm. It's crispy on the outside, soft and dough-like on the inside.
Really good.
Yeah, adding the yeast just gives you like that nose feel.
Mm-hmm.
That makes it more convincing.
Right. Anyway, this was awesome. I love this one. I'm going to save this one for my husband, Brad. Sarah's husband already got his, and he really liked it. All right, next up we have the cinnamon sugar, which is allulose version. We have a caramel dipping sauce. There's many different brands that sell caramel dipping sauces these days, or you can make one. We have made one in the past on our channel, and that is really, really good. If you guys want, we can link that video in the description below. Mm-hmm. It tastes like a cinnamon sugar pretzel. It's not overly sweet though, because remember that allulose is not as sweet as table sugar, but I really like it. Because, you know, sometimes it can taste cloyingly sweet just to have sugar on top. Let's try it with this. Caramel.
Very indulgent.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you remember? The little container that they give you?
I would get extra.
It's just amazing that fathead dough is so versatile and neutral. It can go sweet or savory. And you save, like, how many carbs are we saving? Like 60-something carbs by having this version. I'm going to be full after this because this is a pretty caloric meal.
So would you go sweet or savory, Sarah?
I'll go halvesies.
No, you can't. You have to choose one. Sweet or savory?
Savory.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to go sweet.
You would. But that's why I feel like we should just split half and half. You get half sweet. I get half savory.
Everybody
so
wins.
Things. Yeah.
We hope that you guys will try this. We are super happy with the way it turned out. And don't forget to join Thrive Market using our special link, thrivemarket.com/ketotwins, to get 30% off your first order and a gift of up to $60.
If you guys want to see the video where we made a faux apple pie using fathead dough that was super good, you can click on the video on the screen and we'll see you over there. Anyway, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Emily.
And we are the Keto Twins, signing out.